All right, so the question I'm going to talk about today is basically these conferences we're at. We're at Conversion Hotel right now. And for the first time next year, there will be a US version of Conversion Hotel. It's called Experimentation Island. So you can Google Experimentation Island. And the goal of Experimentation Island is to help people in companies that are not Amazon, Google, and Facebook to basically see how they're doing A/B testing to basically convert people, conversion rate optimization, getting people to click on emails or websites, and how can they do personalization better. And the idea is to basically have a conference that's like what's been happening in Europe for the past 5 years, 10 years, have where every week there's an experimentation conference. Have one in the US where companies that are small, medium, or even big, but they're just not Google, Amazon, Facebook, Apple, to basically learn about how A/B testing can actually drive growth by making better decisions. Is that a fair thing, or what do you see Experimentation Island as? Like,
Yeah, I see it as a way to gather people passionate about experimentation and A/B testing, and let's say networking among themselves and making progress into their careers, paths, whatever, and also learning from experts in the field that are making this kind of experiments all day long.
and what are 5 job titles? So when people on LinkedIn see this, they're like, oh, I would go there. Like, who are 5 examples of people?
Yeah, I
And
think
what are they
it's-
doing every day?
Yeah, they might be product managers, e-commerce managers, CRO experts, experimentation managers, these kind of roles, I guess.
And how is like a e-commerce manager? What are they doing that could be improved by doing experimentation
They
better?
are struggling to make ends meet in the sense of being e-commerce is a very competitive market right now, and the only way to achieve profitability is by constant experimentation. So that's why we are seeing a lot of adoption from e-commerce towards this, because it's too expensive to acquire customers, and that means you need to be able to experiment throughout the entire funnel and throughout the entire customer journey to become profitable or to maintain profitability.
Could you give like 2 or 3 examples of experiments that people running e-commerce now that they could probably run better if they were to go to a conference on experimentation or talk to scientists who run experiments all the time?
Real examples.
Yes,
like
real
what,
examples,
What
yeah.
e-commerce companies could do. Yeah.
So the people watching this can be like, hey, I do that. I need to talk to like someone like you. Or I need to go to one of these conferences or find an expert or a scientist who actually knows how to design experiments, analyze them, run them well.
Yeah, one thing would be for e-commerce companies which are doing user research and to double down on customer research. So companies which are analyzing what their users are telling them, but they are not running experiments based on that user research. Or another thing would be to change the way their PDP or PLP or checkout looks like in order to be able to make progress and persuade more users into having the behavior that they are after. Because at the end of the day,
Interesting.
experimentation is about shifting user behavior and customer behavior. And you can't change the customer behavior if you don't change your company's behavior, you know?
Interesting.
So to change a company's behavior, you have to elevate your understanding and, I don't know, change the inputs of the data that's coming towards you as a professional, and the Experimentation Island can be that place.
Oh, that's very helpful. And could you give like the example is concrete was great. So what's like 3 experiments, like tell me part of the website or e-commerce experience that they should be thinking about?
I don't know, changing the checkout page in the sense
Okay, so when
of,
people go to buy something on like Amazon or Shopify or any kind of website.
yeah, decluttering the checkout page, or changing the way you are confirming that your product is added to cart, like making an upsell over there based on the recommended products that could work with that, or making sure that the PDP page is relevant, product detail page is relevant enough so that it contains the informations and diminishes the friction perceived by the users. And all of those things can be achieved by having a thorough process. So basically it starts with insights, research, analysis, and then hypothesis prioritization, and then experimentation, and that's the feedback loop.
That's very helpful. So you just give very concrete examples. So I'm going to put a question that's going to be titled of this video, okay? And I think the question is something like, how can product managers conversion rate optimization specialists, e-commerce managers improve the conversions they get and the way their customers engage or make product purchases by doing experiments better, by talking with scientists who have expertise in experimentation, or by attending conferences like Experimentation Island, Conversion Hotel, that will have people who've run experiments for many years and can share industry best practices. Do you think that's a good prompt for people to know if this is relevant to them, or would you add anything to that, or would you subtract anything?
Yeah, I think that works.
But in your own words, how would you say it? Like if LinkedIn is a question, how do I X? What would you say?
Yeah, I think it would be more shorter. How can I make progress for my e-commerce by running experimentation?
That's actually great. Yeah. Cool. Okay, well, thanks so much. So everyone on LinkedIn, I'll give you all a second to reflect. What did you all find was interesting here? Like if you were to take a piece of this video and share it for someone else, what did you learn from this? What is interesting or useful?
From this video?
Yeah.
I think what it's interesting and useful is that you have to change the sources of information that you are using as an individual to make progress in your career, in your profession. And conferences are an amazing place to do that because you are meeting passionate people which are investing their own time and maybe money to grow, to learn more, or to share the insights and the shortcuts that they found throughout their careers.
Interesting. That's very helpful. And now, everyone on LinkedIn watching this, what's one thing you're going to do after this so it doesn't just flash through your mind like you're watching a TV show? What's a concrete action you're going to take that will potentially lead to some benefits? Would you Google Experimentation Island? Would you Google Conversion Hotel? Would you, read up about Valentine's work? Like, what's the concrete action you think they should do if they're one of these e-commerce managers or someone else who is, let's say, in the US or Canada, isn't working at, one of the big tech companies and wants to kind of do better in product design, e-commerce, and anything else by running better experiments and learning about how to do them well? What's the concrete action for them to take right now?
Yeah, I think what they should be doing is to read more about experimentation and to learn about Experimentation Island, and of course find out more about experimentation in e-commerce and things like customer lifetime value, and improve the data that they ingest, because it's very important to change to broaden your know-how based on the data that you're ingesting. And that's why I wrote my book, basically.
You wrote a book? Okay, so that's good because that's more concrete. So what is the book that they can read up on?
Yeah, it's called The CLV Revolution. It's based on the CLV Revolution.
The CLV.
Yeah, from
C as in Charlie, L, customer lifetime value.
Yeah,
C as in customer, L as in lifetime, V as in value. The CLV Revolution. And they can Google and find that book.
Yeah, exactly.
And how can they buy an ebook? How do they?
They can
audiobook?
find it on Amazon. So you can find my book on Amazon, The CLV Revolution.
Okay.
It's addressing the topic of underspending or overspending into media to acquire customers that never come back, and it has an entire methodology based on my 17 years in e-commerce, and it took me 2 years to write this book, and it was by far the hardest project that I've made.
And are there any sample chapters they can read online or any blog posts you've written?
Yeah.
Where can they find one of those?
On Amazon or theclvrevolution.com.
Okay, theclvrevolution.com. So you'll have like excerpts and examples, because I think people can see an example, they can see it, this is for them.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool, so everyone, what are your next steps in this video? Are you going to Google Experimentation Island? Are you going to read theclvrevolution.com? Are you going to just Google Conversion Hotel, like learn about practical advice for running experiments better?
Yeah.
I'll give them 10 seconds to think about what you're going to do.
What am I going to do?
No, what they're going to do.
What they're going to do. So what you going to do?
Have a great day, everyone. We're here at Conversion Hotel in Netherlands right now.